Okay, that is a very good question. Very, very good question to start this off. So basically, I have not had a chance to test Rolad yet. So for those of you that aren't familiar with what Rolad is Ritual of Light and Darkness. It's basically the acronym or the shortened name that people are using. Now, this is the version that probably most are going to be playing, because this involves Fallen of the Virtuous, Fallen of the White, Fallen of Albaz, Harmonia, basically a lot of breaker cards. Now, I know that there is an Azamina version running around as well, which I'm actually really intrigued by. The idea of that one, from what I can see, is you can either choose, like, see the Rolad cards as the special engine part, or you get to see the other stuff as the splashable part, because, you know, to each their own. Now, the best thing about the Azaminas is they don't care about their normal summon. They do also give you access to stuff like Dragoon. They give you access to Ilia Sylvia, so they're probably a little bit better going first than going second. What I like about the Fallen in White package as well is, again, it has the best benefit of both. So it's kind of nice. So I'm interested, as it isn't insanely expensive. I know most just want to go Mitsu, but I like to avoid that. Interesting. Yeah, Mitsu is another version. And yeah, there's a very, very valid point. I suppose the Azamina one isn't so cheap, though, if you don't have D-mods. I'd probably say Mitsu is probably the cheapest version of Rolad, if you're going to play it. But like I said, I haven't had a chance to test this deck at all. This is like the first time of actually being able to physically test it. So it's more so just theory crafting the build and helping me, like, understand what cards are good and what cards are bad. And at this moment in time, this hand is not doing anything. What the is this? What is this? I mean, going second, this is godly, because you just go, you'd hit them with a Fuar, you can hit them with a Harmonia, and you're in, like, dreamland. But you open your 2 one-offs you don't ever want to see. So, I mean, if I'm going first, I lose to a single Ash, because I'd have to go normal summon Ecclesia's effect. And this is what the other thing I don't like, is it, I mean, technically it does bridge into Rolad, because Ecclesia goes into Fallen the White. Actually, no, I don't even think it does bridge into Rolad, does it? Because you go Fallen the White's effect, summon out Ecclesia, synchro these two together. These two would go into, not even Ecclesia Dark Drain, you'd go into the Crimson King, right? And then the whole idea is that the Crimson King, add a card that mentions RDA from the deck to the hand, but the card you add is Soul Resonator, and I can't normal summon Soul Resonator because I've already done it. Crimson Call doesn't, that's why you'd play Crimson Call instead. Because if you play Crimson Call then adds you, does Crimson Call directly just add you the Griffle? Is that what it does? Yeah, okay, so Crimson Call is better than Soul Resonator. Interesting. Okay, well, that's learned something new there. Adam, it's just making Mitsu. I want to feature the new cards as much as I can. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree. Okay, so first lesson is that Crimson Core is better than Soul Resonator, question mark. I mean, Soul Resonator is better on its own, but if in this scenario, my Soul Resonator was Crimson Core instead, then I would be able to go Crimson Core to add Griffle. So let's just, again, for testing sakes, let's do that. So we'd add the Crimson Call, activate Crimson Call, grab a level 4 or lower Fiend because we control the Crimson King, grab us the Griffle. Griffle, quick event, discard this card, then activate one of these effects. Set a quick play spell or a trap that mentions Light and Darkness from the deck, and it can be activated this turn. So obviously I would discard the Griffle. I would set Mind Shuffle. And then what does Farah do exactly? Reveal this card and a spell or trap in your hand. So the card has to be in my hand to protect it. If the card is sent to the from the hand or field to the graveyard by spell or trap effect, special summon. Okay. During your player's turn, you get to add a monster that mentions Light and Darkness from the deck to the hand. So we'd be able to activate the Mind Shuffle, add one, discard one. Okay, so that's how that works. Griffle could be the full ritual, so I guess I want to be going for Magician of Dark Chaos. Then discard a card. So you discard the Pharaoh, because Pharaoh is basically what you need for this. And if this is... if it is sent from the hand or field to the graveyard by a spell or trap effect, which is what Mind Shuffle is doing, special on this card. If it is special from the graveyard, take control of a monster your opponent controls at the highest attack, your choice if tied, which obviously I can't do, but at least I've got the 8 on the field. But now the issue is I don't have the ritual spell. Your opponent activates a card or effect. You can return a level 7 or higher monster you control to the hand, especially on a monster that mentions Light and Darkness ritual from the hand, with a different name than return monsters, ignoring its summoning conditions. Oh, okay, fine. So now I need to wait for my opponent to activate a card or effect. So I'd have to pass my opponent's turn. I activate a card or effect. I return the Pharaoh. I summon down Magician of Black Chaos, which obviously isn't the one that I now want. Your opponent activate the effects. Target. Blah, 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 spells and track. If it's quite a special one, you add a spell from the grave to my hand, which I get to add back the Crimson Call, I guess. It's still not really that impressive, right? Unless I'm missing something. I mean, unless I play Red Dragon Archfiend, which would be kind of cool, like actual Red Dragon Archfiend, to tag the Crimson King out too, which could be kind of cool. But to me, unless you've got Blackluster Soldier, oh no, wait, because then during either player's turn, so I can then obviously activate Mind Shuffle to also add, which adds me the Blackluster Soldier. You cannot activate this effect of Mind Shuffle in the same chain. Add a card to the hand, then discard a card. Only use this effect once. Okay, so I'll discard the Pharaoh. Pharaoh would summon back, and then I'll take control of a monster. And then use the effect again. I can return Magician of Light and Darkness for Blackluster Soldier. Unaffected unless they target. Can't be destroyed by battle. And use each of one effects once per turn. If it's special to target a card my opponent tries and banish it. When this card destroys a monster by battle, it can make a second. It gains 1500 and do a second attack. So you tag out for Blackluster Soldier. So this card protects, right? Can't be destroyed or banished by opponent's card effect. So that means like Lightning Storms, Dusters, and all of that can kind of do it. When would you go Ecclesia and not Crimson King? I don't think you would, right? I guess you wouldn't go Crimson King if you already have the card you need. What have I got here? So, Shuffle gets Skull Engraved. Skull dumps Ritual Spell. Ritual Spell add back to hand. Yeah, so I mean, I got there without it. Like, I've just realised how broken Mind Shuffle is. Mind Shuffle's like crazy broken. But the fact is, I get that the search is once per turn, but the fact you just keep switching is pretty nutty, no? Right, okay, cool. So I can see how the Albaz bridges across. I'm not sure how the Azamina bridges across. That would be quite interesting to see. Like I said, this is the first time I've ever actually played this deck. So I am one Griffle short. So if we see a blank card in the deck, it's a Griffle. Yeah, I'm just trying to understand it. I like to do test hands of all decks just to kind of understand where the decks play. Like, all I know with Light and Darkness right now, or Rolad, is that the deck's like it's insanely good. But I'm trying to figure out what makes it insanely good. Like, is it the Rolad cards that make it insanely good? Or is it the fact that, you know, the supporting engines can access them easily? So, Shuffle, I mean, I can imagine, like, Sky Strikers have a good matchup against Rolad. I suppose they can't when they get towers on the field, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I still think this should be Preparation of Rites. Like, surely Preparation of Rites is better than Ragged, right? Because Record gets any card. Oh. Right, okay, got you. So Ragged gets you anything. That makes so much more sense now. I imagine like hard opening up Skull sucks, right? Like, you don't want to see Skull in the hand because you need to be able to, like, I suppose it's not bad if you get to discard it, but like, if I don't have an option to discard it, So I guess you go records. Records gets Griffle. You reveal the Light and Darkness. Griffle discard gets you Mind Shuffle. Is this deck going to literally live and die on Mind Shuffle? Mind Shuffle, add, and then discard. So add. Okay, so there's no point in going for Black Chaos. So I guess I go and get my defensive option, being Magician of Black Chaos. Then I discard a card, being the Summoned Skull. The Summoned Skull is, if it's sent to the grave, you get to send a ritual spell from the hand or deck to the grave to add a ritual monster whose name is listed on it. So I guess that goes there. Sends Light and Dark, and then I grab Black Luster Soldier. So I've got the 2 pieces I need. There we go. And then add it and a card that mentions Light and Darkness from your grave to the hand. Should add this back. Do you just keep looping the Skull Archery then? So do I add the Skull Archery back from the grave? Because now I can activate Light and Darkness. You must tribute monsters from the hand or field and or banish monsters from the graveyard. So I'd be able to banish Griffle, because Griffle can be treated as the entire ritual requirements. Gets me Magician of Black Chaos. At this point I then add back the records. So like what the deck does itself, unless I'm missing something, is quite straightforward. Right? It's be the non-engine that helps back the rest of this up. Because then during my opponent's turn, I can go. So activate Mind Shuffle to add. So add a monster that mentions Light and Darkness. So let's add Black Chaos for the follow-up. Discard a card, being. I don't need to discard the Skull Archery, no, right? Like there's no point in discarding the Skull Archery. Does the Celtic Garden have any effects in the graveyard? No. So send a ritual spell from the hand or deck to the grave to add a ritual monster whose name is mentioned from the deck to the hand. I mean, I've already got the ritual monsters, right? So there's nothing more I need to do there. Then Mind Shuffle, bring this out. Bring Black Luster Soldier down. Black Luster Soldier then targets to banish. Can't be destroyed by battle, so it makes it a little bit awkward for your opponent to deal with. But then that's it, right? There's nothing, unless I'm missing something, there's nothing more that these two are doing. The idea would legit just be, like, let's say I use these, right? Use those. Come back to my turn, draw for turn. Activate Mind Shuffle to add. Let's add the Celtic Guardian. Or the Celtic Mystic to be exact. And then I can Mind Shuffle for Black Chaos, right? The fact that this can do... Oh no, I have to wait for my opponent to do something, don't I? Okay, so if my opponent doesn't do anything, I don't get this to the field. But then... Black Chaos cannot be normal summon a certain monster from the hand by shuffling a spellcaster or a warrior ritual from the hand or grave into the deck. Which is fine, because then I'd be able to go like, what, normal summon down Celtic Mystic. Reveal my entire hand. Then draw 3, ditch 2. Get rid of Black Chaos and Fua. And then Black Chaos can summon itself down, right? Shuffle a spellcaster or a warrior ritual from the hand or grave into the deck. Special summon itself. Discard this card, place continuous, While you have a ritual spell in your graveyard, this card is unaffected by your opponent's card. Once per turn, during my main phase, banish 2 cards my opponent controls. Then be able to put this one back into the deck. Banish 2 cards my opponent controls. I can use Light and Darkness Ritual to add itself back. And add the Archfiend, and then I've got the Records of Right, which would then add the Black Chaos. And then I can activate Light and Darkness. Banish monster for the graveyard, so I could banish the Fua and banish and discard the Fua, right? Tribute the Fua from the hand. But then you kind of don't, like, you, I suppose, like, you have to be going for game if you do this, though, right? Because as soon as both of these are on the field, you have no way to recycle them without the Archfiend being in the graveyard. So basically, don't put both rituals on the field, is what I'm getting. Anyway, surely it's setting up to it easily. It would seem so. It's the thing Atem and Yugi did to beat Pegasus. What do I think is the best staple for a budget Rocket player? Here's my lineup at the moment. Free Salesban. I like Salesban. Free Vision, free Droplet, free Fua, Ash, 2 Droll, 2 Nib, 1 Call, buy 1 Talents. Ghost. I think Ghost Ogre. I should have got the Griffin to set the hats. Yeah, I keep forgetting that the hats exist. Okay. Yeah, I would consider Ghost Ogre and I'd consider Ghost Bell at some point. They might be more effective than the Biru, depending on what you're currently facing against. Might be better. The invoked cards are to one side somewhere. I haven't finished building them yet. I haven't decided what build I want. Someone actually mentioned a really interesting build today, and they were like, "Oh, I'm playing a Kashtira version." I was like, "Oh, that sounds quite exciting," because I was like, "Oh, the new cards want Earth and Wind monsters, so you can banish your Kashtira attributes from the graveyard, and then you just bring them back." I was like, "That's kind of cool." So I'm tempted by that being the version I go with, but I think the difference is a bit more. Yeah, I think Ogre's good against Ritual because you hit the Mind Shuffle, right? So draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll tell you, let's play out as if they've got Ghost Ogre then, right? So should go for the Ragged Records. You get your Griffle, because then at least the best thing is if your opponent goes draw on resolution, you go find Chain Griffle. And Griffle would still get you... Actually, it doesn't make any difference. It wouldn't make any difference if you chain it or not. So you'd add the Mind Shuffle. So Mind Shuffle to add. So this is where Ghost Ogre would be good, because you'd go Mind Shuffle to add, and you go Ghost Ogre. Yeah, then you'd go Ghost Ogre. And then you'd destroy the Mind Shuffle. And then they did... Like, obviously, they have to then use Albaz, but losing the Mind Shuffle sucks. Okay, add a monster dimensions, Light and Darkness. So add Skull Archfiend, discard Skull Archfiend. Skull Archfiend would then send the Ritual from from deck to grave, and then add a Ritual monster. So we want to add back our Magician of Dark Chaos. Then you would add this back to the hand, plus Archfiend. I think you want Archfiend. Activate the Ritual, banish the Griffle. Summon this guy down. This guy then adds back the Ragged Records. Then you go Albaz, send from extra deck to graveyard. I've already got Fallen Virtuous, so I guess I send Rinbrum. Resolve Fallen the White gets me access to Ecclesia. Yeah, Ecclesia. Now in this scenario, because I've already got my combo, I guess I get to synchro these two into the new one, right? I get to synchro these two into the 3 Champions of Sword Soul. So if it's synchro summoned, I get to add a level 4 or 8 spellcaster monster whose attack equals his own defense from my deck or graveyard to my hand. And target a face-up card on the field negates effects. Then if an Ecclesia monster or Fawn of Albaz is in my graveyard, I get to destroy that card, which I can do. Obviously that's going to be better going second, but the idea is that I get to add Farah. So add Farah. Reveal this card and a spell or trap in the hand. Until the end of the next turn, neither player can activate cards or effects in response to the activation of cards or effects of cards with the revealed spell and trap name. So, yeah, so I don't get how that helps. I've seen people talk about protecting Mind Shuffle with this, but you don't really want to hard see the Mind Shuffle, right? So I would go this reveal Fallen and the Virtuous, but then it protects my opponent's own Fallen and the Virtuous. And ironically, Fallen and the Virtuous targets, so it doesn't actually protect the Black Chaos, so it means my Black Chaos would die. So there's no point in actually revealing the Pharaoh, because I don't need to protect this. I'll just set one random, pass my opponent's turn. During my opponent's turn, activate Mind Shuffle to add, which will get you BLS. Discard the Pharaoh. Pharaoh would come back and steal one of my opponent's monsters, so I'd use that when my opponent puts a monster on the field. And then when they try and activate something, you go Mind Shuffle, switch out, target banish. Does it return for cost? It does return for cost. Interesting. Okay. What about Blue Eyes? What about what? Blue Eyes using the engine? I suppose it could. I don't know how much Light and Darkness is a splashable engine itself, because like you need to play at least one of each of the rituals. You'd have to play 3 Griffle. You need to play the ritual spell. Like, I know there are builds that are using it as splashable engine, but I think the builds that use it, I think the builds that are better at it are builds that already have. You're just adding a tower. Like if you're adding this to a existing deck, you're just adding a towers to your deck. Is what you're basically doing, which is good. Don't get it wrong, but. Could this work in a sub-engine in Elfloat, because Black Chaos puts away a spellcaster? Puts away? What do you mean puts away a spellcaster? It adds a spell from the grave, if that's what you mean. Target a card your opponent tries and banish it face down. It's definitely more aggressive. Testing Angelicity with Wowbaz. Yeah, I've seen actually a really cool build of Angelicities with playing all of the Dominus cards, or not all of the Dominus cards, but I think it was like Impulse, it was Purge, and it was the other one. And I faced against someone who was on Angelicity Elf Notes today, and they opened up the trap card, and I didn't realise how annoying that trap card was. Like definitely against my deck as well, because I wanted to activate loads of cards. So I was like, if they hit me with that. They didn't put the 5 monster effects, they put the burn 500 every time. So I was like, cool, I get 16 effects in a Danger Dark World Sacred Beast deck. I was like, bro, I'll just burn myself out. So which one should I get or recommend? Ritual Chaos or Blitzkrieg? Ooh, good question. I think Blitzkrieg have more potential to increase in price in the future. If you were to get a pre-order of the Rolad deck and you got them for 175, then you're in good stead, because the Black Chaoses are like £70 each now. But I've seen people online selling a Blitzkrieg Claw for like £90. And the other thing with the Blitzkrieg is if they get new support announced in the stream, which I believe is tomorrow for the new set, they'll go up in price. Like Crackles, Surges, they'll go up in price. Also in Mitsu, Ragged Records can only add ritual monsters using Mitsu ritual only and not using Mirror, right? Because I asked someone I was playing with and they said Mirror is possible. I'm not sure I understand the question. In Mitsu, Ragged Records can only add ritual monsters using Mitsu ritual only. And not using Mirror Jade, right? Because, what? Ragged Records of Rights. You reveal a ritual spell from the hand or deck. I'm pretty sure Mirror is a ritual spell, right? And if you do, add a monster from the deck to the hand that mentions that spell's name. Ah, okay. Do any monsters mention Mitsurugi Mirror? Because I don't think any of them do, right? None of the monsters mention Mirror. To answer the question, is Clown Crew Archmage branded sous ship Jesus Ryziel 2 mirrors? Hang on, wait, what? Oh, what you face. Right, sorry, I'm trying to catch back up. Yeah, so if the monsters only mention Mitsurugi Ritual, then you can only use you can only reveal Mitsurugi Ritual, right? Hang on, let me read the card again. Ragged Records, right. Reveal a ritual spell from the hand or deck. So technically you can reveal mirror or ritual at this point. And if you do, add a monster from the deck to the hand that mentions that spell's name. Now I don't think, and I could be wrong off the top of my head, that any of the ritual monsters say Mitsurugi mirror. I'm pretty sure they all say Mitsurugi Ritual. So you are facing Clown Crew Archmage branded sous ship, Ryziel, 2 mirrors, and Virtual Punk. Wow, that's quite a range, Jesus. Yeah, I mean, most of your side it's pretty good. I would still consider stuff like Ghost Spell and Ghost Ogre could be pretty good in some of those matchups. Add Griffor in opponent's turn and discard the skull. Then you add the other ritual and end on hats. Okay, let's try that. Let me get my head around that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, well, there's the hats. So your opponent activates a monster effect or a normal spell or trap card. Choose 3. It's annoying it has to be 3 spells and traps with different names from the deck and a monster in your main monster zone that mentions light and darkness. Special summon the spells and traps as normals face down. Their name become Chaos Magical Hats even while face down. Set the chosen monsters. If this face up, so this is where I can see it becoming really funny. Is that technically, if you had a token if you got a custom token made that had like the stats and everything, that'd be kind of cool. Put them on all 4. Set the chosen monster if it is face up and shuffle them on the field. Then your opponent activate effect becomes destroy a monster your opponent controls. Right, and obviously if they don't hit the ritual monster, the idea is you get to flip it face up. So it's kind of like a weird, like the classic magical hats, but also with like a scapegoat-esque application, right? Okay, so Ragged Records. I'm seeing this card way too often, but I like it. Add Greffa, revealing obviously the ritual spell. Then discard the Griffle. Place Mind Shuffle face up. And then, I know it doesn't place it face up. Why do I keep placing it face up? Sets it. And then activate it to add a monster that mentions light and darkness from the deck to the hand. So you add the Summon Skull. Skull discards itself, grabs the ritual spell. Or sorry, sends a ritual spell, which grabs you Magician of Black Chaos. Then you activate the light and darkness ritual spell in the graveyard. Adding back the light and darkness in the skull. Then you activate light and darkness ritual, banish the Griffle from the grave, get yourself access to the Magician. Magician adds back the Ragged Records. And then Albaz, send Albion, right? Send Albion. Resolve, get access to Ecclesia. Sync these two together. And again, I don't need access to the Crimson King. So let's go for the free champions. Free champions adds Farah. Set the hats. End phase, get Fallen the Virtuous. Suppose you could reveal Farah in the hats, that'd be kind of cool. Set Fallen the Virtuous. And then pass to opponent's turn. During opponent's turn, activate Mind Shuffle. What would you grab? So you grab Celtic. And then what? You discard the Summon Skull. The Summon Skull's effect sends the second ritual spell, which grabs you your BLS. This just kind of seems like deck thinning with extra steps, but sure. Oh, not Celtic. I should have grabbed Griffle, right? Actually, no, because I've got. I mean, Griffle would get me another Mind Shuffle. So we do this. If our opponent activates anything, we go Mind Shuffle for BLS. Oh, that comes back to hand. And then the BLS, special, target, banish. Okay, so we've got that. But now the Ferry is kind of like stuck in the hand, right? Because the only way that Ferry gets discarded off of the back of Mind Shuffle. But then I guess I activate the magical hats. Reveal 3 spells with different names. So I guess I go Ragged Records. I guess I go Crimson Core at this point. And then I guess I go... have to be Super Poly or a Mind Shuffle. Flip those all face down, and then I'll have to put the BLS face down. So this would obviously have to be a moment of pure desperation. Okay, I mean, it makes sense. I get what this deck is trying to do now, in the basic of senses. I just finished watching Sacred Dark World test down video. On the second test down, why not use Skull Dread to draw 4? Return 3 to dig for Dark World. I mean, you could have done. It only just became like I was going second. So I was like, at this point here, once I've cleared enough cards off, do I need to go Skull Dread and dig? Like you can do. But, yeah, so there's not really much point in digging that much further. Okay, let's do... I don't think there's anything I directly see that I want to change with this deck yet. I like the... I think the Azamina ceiling for going first is a lot higher. I think this is probably a more balanced build. Crown doesn't target, so I need to have an out. How do I out my... Like, Fallen the Virtuous is the out, right? But then I guess you Fallen the Virtuous, you chain Mind Shuffle, you're always dodging it, right? Unless Fallen the Virtuous targets the Mind Shuffle, but then it can't be destroyed if you control the Black Luster. Not the Black Luster, the Black Chaos. So the only way that you out... Ooh, this is interesting. I don't think this hand plays, does it? Shuffle a spell or warrior ritual, so I can't do that. Oh no, I can discard it to place. Oh my god, why does this card have to have those effects? That's just ridiculous. I was like, oh, this hand's dead. And I was like, nope, read Black Chaos, dumbass. Discard this, place face up, because why not? Mind Shuffle. Activate Mind Shuffle. Can this play itself from the graveyard? That has to be special from the hand. Okay. Mind Shuffle to add. I guess we add the Democ, right? No, add the Celtic, because I haven't drawn yet, right? So add the Celtic. Discard a card being the Skull Archfiend. Skull Archfiend would then ditch the ritual to get me the Democ. Ditch the ritual, grab me the Democ. And then, so how do you summon the Skull? Target 3 other cards in the grave and or face up banishment, including a card that mentions light and darkness. Okay, so we can just shuffle back any card. That's pretty stupidly busted, but sure. Normal summon Celtic. Celtic, reveal my entire hand. Well, that's not very good, is it? Well, that would have been a very, very sad... Oh, hello. What am I doing? Drawing 3, discarding 2. I can only special on once from the extra deck, which is fine. Special on a ritual from my hand. Now, how do you special on a ritual from the hand if it doesn't ignore its summoning conditions? That's my question. 1, 2, 3. Wow, that's pretty good, I'm not going to lie. Guess we discard the light and ritual, light and darkness, so that's 1. Get rid of the Ecclesia, that's the 2. Cool, love a graceful charity. Right, and then we light and darkness. Add this back to the hand, add back Black Chaos. Activate Light and Darkness, use the Black Chaos. There's no benefit in summoning the Black Chaos, right? Going first. Special note once we turn this way. No, there's no point in doing it. So, Black Chaos then recycles, so I might as well grab a Light and Darkness ritual. And then where do we go here? I mean, you just go Albaz, don't you? So the Albaz is the first summon. Ecclesia. Where do you go here, though? Maybe Ecclesia then, isn't it? Banish it. Special one Albaz or a level 4. So I guess this is your Ecclesia. You sent your Albion, so you're going to get the Fallen of the Virtuous in the end phase. So you set the Fallen of the Virtuous. It's pretty good, isn't it? Really. Okay, dokie. Alright, I guess this makes sense. Correct, they only say Mitsu Ritual, no one mentions the mirror. Yes, you won't be able to use it. Have I tried Chaos Ritual with Mitsu? I haven't tried Chaos Ritual with Mitsu. I can. This is what I was trying to say earlier. Like with the Albaz package, right? You can bridge. If you only see Albaz cards, you can get to the Light and Darkness cards, right? Is there a way for Mitsu to do that? Like, is there a way for Mitsu to go and get Light and Darkness cards? I'm still figuring out the extra deck as well. I find it funny how I can technically play Red Dragon Archery, and I might actually do that. It's got those, got those. I've got my Super Poly targets, which at the moment are these, and then I need my Harmonia targets, which are... I need Pegasus Agnista. Try and move some sleeves out of the way. I need Pegasus Agnista. And I need, or I want to play Packbit. Where is my Pegasus Agnista? Not in here. I'm trying to think where my Packbit is as well. I would have used it recently for Harmonia, and Harmonia was in Red Dragon Archfiend, I believe. Yeah, I do like the idea that I could play Red Dragon Archfiend. Because I think a lot of people won't expect the Crimson King to tag out, and then if you tag out, not that you should need it, but it gives you another 6k boss monster, right? You should get like another 6k monster that goes punch. Just catching up on the chats. All right, let's trying to figure out where my Harmonia targets are. Alright, I'll have to find the rest of the Harmonia targets. It shouldn't be that big of an issue to try and track those down. But I'll be playing 3 more Harmonia targets, which means I have 6 synchros in total. Well, sorry, 2 more Harmonia targets will give me 6 synchros in total. And then, so that's 6 plus another 6 here. Means I've got 3 more spaces to play around with. So those could be kind of like just generic engine pieces. They could be more super polymerization targets. I've seen people use, is it Father Dragon? The other new super polymerization target, so that's something to look into. How does this out Liger Dancer? That'd be very interesting, actually. There's no way to get your monsters above a certain attack stat, right? So does this deck lose to Liger Dancer? Because only your towers that are protected. I wonder. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this deck doesn't out a Liga Dancer. Like you would have to. The only way it outs the Liga Dancer is through the Crimson King going into Red Dragon Archery, right? Okay, let's go second, shall we? So during my opponent's turn, Griffor. Griffor places Mind Shuffle, flip the Mind Shuffle, activate the Mind Shuffle. What do we want to try and add here? Let's add Black Chaos, right? No, because I don't have the card. Do I want the Black Chaos? I don't really want the Black Chaos, do I? I want... Let's go Magician of Dark Chaos. Yes, yeah, I guess, because then you discard this. I mean, technically I could discard the Pharaoh, that would be pretty funny. But then all Pharaoh does is take control. Yeah, she'd go Pharaoh, take control, kind of funny, not going to lie. Then draw for turn. Draw phase, Mind Shuffle. Add and discard. So let's add Celtic, discard Skull. Skull sends Light. Light adds BLS. Now I've got both in rotation. Oh, what am I doing? I suppose that's fine, really, isn't it? Yeah, because then you go, annoyingly, you just go, cool, Light and Darkness, add itself back, add the Griffor. Griffor effect. Do I set a second Mind Shuffle? I mean, I've already got the hats in the hand, so that's not an issue. Do that. If my opponent controls more monsters than me, I've got Ecclesia play. Otherwise, I guess it's just Light and Darkness. Banish the Griffor. Get Magician. Do I want the Magician? No, there's no point in going for Magician here, right? You go Blackluster. Blackluster. Target a card my opponent controls and banish it. And then I guess it's whether I want the draws over the back of the Celtic Mystic, which I don't think I need to. Probably go Albaz, right? Albaz, discard Ecclesia, contact Fuse to Mirror Jade. Mirror Jade can use the effect, use Albion. So that clears off 2 cards, well it's cleared off 3 cards really. And then switch with any of use, attack, gain 15, attack again, 3,000, so 3, 4, 5, 5, 8. So if this is a 2200 monster, I guess. And if they activate anything, I just Mind Shuffle once the BLS is attacked, right? Okay. I can see this version getting kind of stale-ish within a way, but isn't Pharaoh only for spell effects? Is it only for spell effects? Have I been completely misplaying Pharaoh? If this card is sent from the hand or field to go by a spell or trap effect. Yeah, okay, cool. I thought I wasn't going crazy. But yeah, so Pharaoh can only do it, can be discarded by anything. How many Black Chaos do you play? 3 Black Chaos, 1 of the Ritual Monster. The Revive and Steal effect. Yeah, cool. What would you think of a Synchro build for Rockets where it's Vision, Crimson Gaia, Champion's Pulse, King's Resonance in the side, in extra 1 Crimson King, 1 Red Dragon Archery, and then a Dispatter? I don't think you need it. I think you could probably play better options. But the Crimson King's not a bad option itself. Just depends on what you're trying to add with it and where you're trying to go from it. Team Sparky Mosquito. You are more than welcome. More than welcome. Now, I'm only going to be on for like another 15 more minutes. This is just like a very spur of the moment because I'm going to be at Euros next week. But it was a spur of the moment that I wanted to test out the new deck and just kind of get my head around it. Come on, give me an unplayable hand. Wow, even the Griffor saves it. Saves it right at the last. I'll tell you what, I'll leave this one. No, I'll tell you what, that can be playable, right? I'll shuffle up, but I won't show you the cards. And then you guys can tell me if the next hand is played going first or going second. Let's do it that way. You can use the Chaos deck with a Dark Magician engine, but at the moment, until we get the new cards in September, they don't like overbridge much. So you're not, basically all you're doing is the same with most versions of this deck that I've seen, is that you are adding a towers to your deck. Like, what I'm trying to say is, if you build a 40 card deck, right, and 20 of those cards are Light and Darkness cards, and the other 20 is like Dark Magician cards, all you've done is add in a towers option over 20 non-engine cards. Like Super Poly, Droplets, Crowns, you name it, whatever you want to kind of look at. So should I play this hand in front of me going first or going second? I'll let whoever comments first will be the decider, and then we'll kind of see the aggression or the defense of this deck. Yeah, I've still got a lot to build as well. I'm waiting for a few more cards for Blitzkrieg. I'm waiting on a few more cards for Phantom Knights. Only like 2 more cards. Annoyingly for Invoked, I'm missing like 1 super rare, which is really annoying. Like if I had that super rare, I'm hoping I'm going to be able to get it tomorrow at locals, but I don't know, because no one seems to have pulled it, which is really, really annoying. Yeah, I think Blitz could be really good. First, okay, we're going to play this one first. If you're open to it, I'd like to see an updated 6-sound combo video since my most recent one. I'd love to see how you set up engines with the newest sound deck. Has it already been that long since I've done 6-sound? I thought I did them like last year. They haven't really changed. Yeah, it's not that long ago. It's only 6 months, like 6 or 7 months, right? Like the combo doesn't change. The combo's the same. You're still gonna go for. You still lose, like annoyingly lose to like an Ash and Imperm or a Veiler on the Great Shogun. That's the really annoying thing about it. Okay, so we're going to try and play going first with Fallen of the Virtuous. Not that great. A Ragged Records. Card is evidently broken now. A Mind Shuffle. Because. A Fua. Because. And another Ragged Records. The worst thing about this, right, is this hand loses to an Ash. Like, how fragile is this hand, guys? Like, I go, cool, Records, Ash, cry. But then if there's no Ash here, so let's say they don't have Ash, how far does this go? So we go Griffle, discard the Griffle, place the Mind Shuffle face up. This is where Ghost Ogre comes into play, because then I go, cool, Mind Shuffle to add and discard. So you add the skull, discard the skull, send and obviously if they Ghost Ogre this, so this hand would lose to Ghost Ogre and it would also lose to Ash Blossom, which is quite funny. Send the Ritual Spell. I'm going to need to find space for Ghost Ogres now. I just think Ghost Ogres are going to put in so much work. Black Chaos. Ritual Spell, add itself back, and Skull, activate Light and Darkness, banish from the graveyard, Griffle, summon down, add back the Ragged. And that's kind of it, right? Like, that's all this deck does. Like, I'm ending my turn here. During my opponent's turn, activate Mind Shuffle, add. What do I add though? Add Black Chaos for follow. Well, I suppose you go Griffle, isn't it? You add the Griffle to get hats. At least gives you another disruption. Discard the Skull again. The Skull sends the Light and Darkness. Does the Skull have to send from deck? It's close centigrade, you send a ritual from the handle deck. Okay. And then add BLS. Like, I haven't technically disrupted my opponent yet. And they activate a card effect. I go, is this a when effect as well? Yeah, when your opponent activates a card effect, chain mind shuffle. Swap these round. Effect to banish. And then I've got Griffle. Griffle gets you hats. Hats can be activated this turn, so we'll activate the hats. We'll reveal 3 spells. We'll get rid of Ragged Records. We'll get rid of Crimson Call, and we'll get rid of a Super Polymerization. So then these all get booked. Let's get these 3. And then it becomes Destroy 1. Gets rid of Super Poly. Hats is gone. And then the hopes are that you use Fallen the Virtuous, send Albion, and then Fallen the Virtuous in the end phase. Or sorry, Albion gets you a Fallen the Virtuous. Draw for turn. And then we've got Summon Skull. So we'll put the Griffle back. We'll put... Can it recycle? Does it have to go to the main deck? Target 3 other cards in the graveyard and or facial banishment, including a card that mentions Light and Darkness. Place them on the bottom of the deck. Ah, yeah, because it has to go to the bottom of the deck. Is that right? Is that? I think that's how I've always been told, that if a card has to go to the bottom of the deck, it can't go back to the extra deck. Or if it has to go back as cost, I think. Something like that. I don't know. But I'll put back hats, we'll put back Griffle, and we'll put back... yeah, Light and Darkness. Summons back. Use Light and Darkness to add itself plus the Griffle back. We can Griffle. Set the hats. So I've got that for a follow-up. I'm running out of spells on that though. And then we go Ritual, banish the Griffle for this. Then I can flip this face up. Then, yeah, I guess you just go from there, right? I don't know. Okay. I feel like there's a couple of cards that need to be changed in this already, but I just don't know what yet. So, hello. Right, also name me 3 staples. I'll try and play through them. I mean, definitely on that first hand, there was no staples that was playing through. I think combo video was October 2024, but yeah, deck list more recent for Sam's. I noticed in your October 24 test and video you had some different cards in deck or extra deck that you don't have in the recent deck list. Depends on what they are, to be honest. Now, the outcome of the deck, what you're trying to achieve with the deck is still pretty much the same. You're still trying to... it's technically a starter piece, isn't it? What was this one about? 6 Sams. Yeah, you're still trying to do the exact same thing. You're basically just trying to present a synchro field that your opponent can't play through. And then it kind of just comes down to the type of synchros you want to change and how you want to do it. So I'm currently just trying to break these down into engines, hand traps, starters. I mean, Farah technically isn't a hand trap, so I don't know what you class Farah as. Harmonia, Fallen and White, Third Griffle, Harmonia, Super Poly, Ashes, Black Chaos, Griffle, Ritual Spell. Okay, so you have to play Black Chaos. I think you have to play it 3. You have to play the Rituals 1 each. You have to play the Griffle, Ragged Records. I now see how good that card is. You have to play that. Crimson Call, you have to play that. Maybe there's an argument to only play 1 Light and Darkness and 1 Mind Shuffle, but honestly I don't think it's worth it. You might as well just play the 2s. You need to play the 1 Hats. Celtic, I think you could afford to play one of if you wanted to, but let's go with 2 and 2 for now. For the hand traps, Fua, Ash, Harmonia, and Magnamut. So that's a healthy 10. For breakers, we've got a 5. So that's 15 breakers. 5 breakers, 10 hand traps. You've got this engine, which is just absolutely nuts, has to be played, and then you've got the one Farah. So, where do Ghost Ogres go? Or where do Ghost Bells go? Are they all going to be on the side? Is that really what I'm getting to? Yeah, correct. BLS just gains attack and then just punches over the rest, doesn't it? Let's put a side deck slightly together, I guess. I don't know what this deck wants, though, at this moment in time. Like, you definitely want to have... I feel like your Ghost second is still pretty healthy. The fact that technically you don't need a normal summon is actually really funny because it means you can play Lava Golem, and I love Lava Golem as a card. I think it's like one of my favourite cards in the entire game, just because of how, like, I don't know, just how effective it can be. Put that there, put that there, there. Okay, cool. So, for a side deck, how would you even go about doing a side deck on this one, really? Okay, so for going first, I definitely want Solemn Accusations. The card's nuts. I also definitely want Judgment. Don't know where my Judgment's gone. Good start. Judgment. I don't know how good like Lightning Storms are. Cards you can't destroy kind of makes it feel quite pointless to even attempt to try and destroy them. So I guess that kind of then comes into question a little bit, is how worth is it trying to destroy them? I feel that maybe Ghost Ogre is a side card that you side in for particular matchups where you're like, right, cool, Ghost Ogre is that effective against this deck. But then if you've got... And it's really good if you can't get the D mod into play. Because if you can't get the Dark Magician of Black Chaos now into play, then it doesn't protect it, and you just Ghost over it and it's done. And then I guess you do it on response as well. If you chain an effect, they chain, you go, cool, Ghost Ogre it. I feel like Ghost Ogre is just going to put in a lot of work. I could be wrong. I could test Ghost Ogre and be like, this is absolute dog. This is not doing anything. Illusion Gate's something to consider. I think, yeah, Lava Golem I think is worth considering. I just feel that if you can save your normal summon, which is quite easy to do in certain scenarios, it's like... That's one way you out their towers, straight away you just give them a Lava Golem. So, I think that's worth it. Evening match is quite interesting because, if I remember rightly, so... Yeah, it's only unaffected by opponent's activated effect. So evenly isn't your opponent. Evenly is... it is your opponent, but it applies the effect the player chooses. So it's not protected. Free Perulia, Ogre, and Droll. Oh yeah, Droll has to be in there, doesn't it? I did have Droll somewhere to one side. I don't know where they've gone now. I want to try Pot of Sloth as well. I want to give that a run out. So, what are we thinking? So we've got Go first. We've got Go second. This might still all change come the morning as well. Right, where are... I think they're here. Drolls. Maybe Bell just gets replaced with Ogre. Maybe that's just how it is. Illusion Gate is something else that I'm considering, but I don't know how effective that is, this format. Perulia is also a good option because I feel that there'll be a lot more summoning from the hand over the extra over the extra deck and deck. So both the same, no different sleeve. Okay. It's got Ghost Ogres, got Lava Golems, Illusion Gates, Pot of Sloth. I think Evenly Match could be an underdog as well. I'm not saying it's perfect, I'm just saying it could be an underdog. And I don't put it past a lot of people, but there'll definitely be times where I see people. I know there's a card actually. There is a card that people are playing. Where is it? It is Phoric Advent. So it's a spellcaster that has the same attack and defense, and it is 2 tributes. No, it only requires 1. Tribute 1 monster, special summon this card from the hand. You can tribute a fairy, fiend, or reptile monster to add a continuous trap from the deck to the hand. Also, you can't special summon monsters for the rest of this turn. I know there's a play for this because I know people are. You search it and then you search out anti-spell fragrance, which is just disgusting, but still pretty funny. But then I don't know how effective is it effective in the mirror match? I guess it is because you anti-spell them means they can't use their ritual spell. So maybe. That's what I've got those lot. I've got anti-spells, I've got Illusion Gates, I've got Evenlies, considering I've got Pot of Sloths. Trolls are pretty standard, so you'd go what? 4 for first, 3 for second, so that's 7. You got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and I guess you go 14, 15. But they would both be for going first options. So now I'm like, I suppose you just chain the Fauna Virtues if you've got it. What's the alternative? Seems like Light and Darkness deck can shake out the meta. I mean, I think Light and Darkness can definitely shake out the meta, but I also think quite like Cool Tunes in a sense. Like everyone's got their eyes on it, so it's going to come down to the different variants that are being played. Will depend on the different outcomes. Yeah. And then what was the question? The question was, what's the alternative to accusations? Good question. Nothing really does the exact same job that accusation does. But I suppose you just have to play other you'd have to play other solemns. So you'd play solemn warnings. Again, it's not like for like. It probably actually helps you because it opens up some space, I guess, to play different cards as well. Just add this to my Field Center collection, which is in one of these down here. Yeah, so that's what I'd go for. How out of date is my Field Center collection? What the hell? No. What the hell? How out of date is this? I'm missing loads of Field Centers. Where are we on? I'm missing Burst Protocol. I'm missing Blazing Dominion. And I'm missing... Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Blazing Dominion, Burst Protocol. Oh no! Where have I put those? Definitely have them. Just don't know where I've put them. Ugh. Alright, I guess I'll have to look for those. That's fine. Anyway, right, I'm probably going to leave it there for now. I'll try and track down where I've put those field centres, because that's going to bug me. Because that's so missing. No. Yeah, let's try and figure out what they are. I'll figure out what I'm going to do for a side deck as well, and then can I just give you an update? I did put a poll out, so the poll's still open. It depends on what I'm going to take to locals tomorrow, or at least try and feature, because there'll be some players there that are already on the decks. So yeah, let's go for that one. Let me just double check. Yeah, I mean, it's still 45% for Ritual of Light and Darkness. Invoked to 31% and Angelices at 24%, which I find that quite interesting. I thought Angelices, more people would want to see that being played, but kind of much and muchness, I guess. Let me find where my bag is. There we go. So, yeah, cool. All right, I'm going to leave you all to it. Have a very good evening. I'm just trying to tidy up everything around me and then try and find that, whatever you want to call it, field centres. And then kind of go from there. I better put some tape on this as well so I don't move it. Yeah, cool. Right, have a very good evening. I'm going to go and try and get the rest of my stuff ready for tomorrow. And then try and find blooming field centres. It's actually so annoying. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Till next time, as absolutely always, have a great evening. And of course, happy dueling.